Hello everyone, today I am making about literary terms. In the last video, I was told 9 literary terms. Today I will uh, tell more than possible, means 10 to 12 literary terms. Some literary terms are very difficult and some is uh, very easy. Please concentrate on literary terms. It will 15 marks. It will come you 10 to 15 marks in your exam, so please concentrate on your literary terms and literary forms. In the upcoming day I will do literary forms video also. If time is available, literary form video I will do, but today we are discussing about literary terms from 10th literary term to I think 21 I will complete today. Okay. 10th one, metafiction. Metafiction is a narrative technique in which the work self consciously calls attention to itself as a work of fiction, similar to breaking the fourth wall in theater. Metafiction suspends the disbelief of the reader by specifically addressing the reader or discussing his own status. Example: metafiction novels. 1. Vladimir Nabokov, Pale Fire. 2. Jaws, Toni Morrison. 3. Life of P. Ian Martel. 4. Slow Man, J.M. Coetzee. 5. Orlando, Virginia Woolf. 11. Plot. Plot is a literary device that writes used to structure what happens in a story. Plots must present an event, action, or turning point that creates conflict or raises a dramatic question. It should lead to subsequent events that are connected to each other as a means of answering the dramatic questions and conflict. Example: here is the example of plot about Abraham Lincoln. The American president Abraham Lincoln was born into a poor family and was a self-educated lawyer. Lincoln used the fact that he was raised a one-room log cabin to propel his political campaign, and ultimately become the 16th president of the United States. 12. Character. A character is a person, animal, being, creature, or thing in a story. Writers use characters to perform the action and speak dialogue, moving the story along a plot line. A story can have only one character and still be a complete story. This character's conflict may be an inner one or a conflict with something natural, such as climbing a mountain. Example: Hedda Gabler by Henrik Henrik Ibsen. Hedda Gabler is manipulative, cold, and demonic, even though she is the little character, the focus of the play. She is the most complex and psychologically compelling character. The reason that she is a dynamic character. 13. Setting. No more explanation of setting, only one line explanation. Please read it carefully. Setting in literature is the location and time frame in which the action of narrative takes place. Example: following is the best example of setting. 50 years ago, a great American, in whose symbolic shadow we stand today, signed the Emancipation Proclamation. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. And very important, Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream speech. 14th one, narrative technique. Narrative technique provide deeper meaning for the reader and help the reader use imagination to visualize situations. Narrative literary techniques are also known as literary devices. There are many types of literature that are considered narratives, including novels, drama, fables, folk tales, short stories, and poetry. In addition to literature, narratives are found in cinema, music, and theater. They found their place in setting, plot, them, style or structure, character, and perspective or voice of the story. 15. Pairs. A phase is a literary genre and type of comedy that makes us of highly exaggerated and funny situation aimed at entertaining the audience. Farce is also a subcategory of dramatic comedy, which is different from the other forms of comedy, as it only aims at making the audience laugh. It uses elements like physical humor, uh, deliberate absurdity, body jokes, and drunkenness just to make a people laugh. We often see on demonstrational characters in ludicrous situations in faces. Example: The Importance of Being Honest by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde's novel The Importance of Being Honest is one of best verbal phrase, just like a typical phrase that contains basic elements such as mockery of the upper class, disgraceful physical humor, absurdity, and mistaken identities. This novel also demonstrates these features of face. The most absurd thing in tale is the fact that Miss Prism commits a blunder by leaving her manuscript in the frame and puts her child into her handbag. Next, 16. Smile. Smile is different and smile is different. Don't get confused. Smile is a literary term where you use like or as to compare two different things and show a common quickly between them. A smile is different from a smile comparison in that it usually compares two unrelated things for unrelated things. For example, she looks like you is a comparison but not a smile. On the other hand, she smiles like the sun is a smile, as it compares a woman with something of a different kind, the sun. Example, consider this description of a thin man. He apostrophe s as thin as a rail. There can be no real similarity between a man and a rail. But describing a man as thin as a rail evokes the image of a remarkably thin man, as a rail is a very thin pole. 17. Metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that directly compares one thing to another for heretical effect. Example, one of the most famous example of metaphor in the English language comes from William Shakespeare. As you like it, in it the playwright writes, all the world is a stage and all the men and women merely players. Shakespeare is comparing a world to a stage by saying one is the other. However, he doesn't believe the world is a literal stage. The comparison is rhetorical. By comparing the world to a stage and the people in the world as players on it be is inviting us to think about the similarities between the two and by extension the meaning of human nature and our place in the world. Now we end our second session because video is very lengthy. I think 13 to 14 minutes video it is. So 8 literary terms we have completed in this video. In the next video we will try to complete 10 to 12 literary terms, or totally 18 literary terms are remaining. 16 literary terms are remaining. We have completed 17 literary terms. Now we will complete in next one session or 2 session. Okay, please, sorry for slow. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and share with your friends. Thank you.